Hi everyone, it's Jill Foster here for Penny Black, and this is the third video in our series From Stamp to Stunning, where I'm sharing how you can take a favorite stamp or a new stamp and take it to a stunning card in 3 easy steps. So the first is just to stamp and color it in. The stamp set that we're using today is our Winter Wisdom stamp set. I love the graceful flow of these pine cones and pines, and I'm going to be painting it in with our liquid watercolor inks, just 3 colors: grass, chocolate, and pine. Now you can definitely paint it in or color it in, use markers, colored pencils, whatever way that you prefer. I'm just sharing mine, and I'm just taking those 3 colors and adding them to my palette to get started. And if you want more information about our liquid watercolor inks, as well as my palette setup and all of that, I have a video series all about these inks and all of the setup that I'll link for you down in the YouTube description box below. So now that I have those picked up, I thought I'd just give you a little look at each of these colors. They are so great for this, and I love that you only need 3. It can be that simple. So this is what that grass color looks like. Here is what that pine color looks like, and chocolate. So that's all we're using on this card today, and just a closer look at each of those colors. And I will have everything I'm using today listed and linked for you down in the YouTube description box below. So I went ahead and stamped the Winter Wisdom stamp onto Canson 140-pound watercolor paper, and I stamped that using Memento Toffee Crunch ink. I'm using our brushes from our brush set to paint that in, and the first color I'm putting on is that grass color. And I'm going to do that over those pine branches. I pick it up from my palette. I put the color where I want it to be darkest, and then I can rinse off my brush and pat it dry if I go back to do any blending. So again, picking that up off the palette and painting that over. And I am not painting over the pine cones. I am going around those. You can see there I wanted it to be lighter, so I rinsed off my brush, patted it dry and blended it, and then went back and picked up some more paint. You'll notice also that I stamped this image going off the edge of the card. So this is a 4¼ by 5½ inch standard card. But for this technique, it's very helpful to stamp it sort of either more towards the top or more towards the bottom, or more towards the left or more towards the right, and even to do it going off of the page or off of the card. It will make it more interesting when the card is complete. So just zooming in here where I'm putting down that grass, and then I will just blend that out. You can see it's lighter towards the bottom of those pine branches. And here I'm just going back with some water just to sort of lighten that up. I felt like it sort of ended too rounded, like an oval, so I just sort of lifted some of that paint, wet it, and then went in with a drier brush to sort of lift some of that paint. Now here is where I'm picking up that pine color and using a sweeping motion and sort of following the flow of those pine needles. I'm just sort of flicking that paint on, and it just darkens things up and just gives it more depth. I've stamped this with the Toffee Crunch Memento ink to give it sort of a no line look, so that it looks like everything was just hand painted on, not a black outline and colored in. But this technique, this 1, 2, 3 step process looks great with however that works best for you. So if you like to stamp in black and color things in with colored pencils or with watercolors, this will really lead you to a card that you are happy with. Now I am also working on just a single panel of the standard size card, 4¼ by 5½ inches. And then what I will do then is add this to a card base. Now I'm fine if my card base is not made from watercolor paper. For me, that actually gets too thick and is not very cost effective. But everything on the front of the card will be this card panel of watercolor paper. So you can just use like a pre-made pack of cards, or you can cut and score yours from just cardstock. I love that this stamp set also is not Christmas specific, definitely can be very Christmassy if you add a Christmas sentiment, but you'll see that there aren't any like Christmas bulbs or anything as a part of the image, which makes it really versatile to take into the winter, into the new year for masculine cards, even winter birthday cards. So here let's do a pine cone together. I'm picking up that chocolate ink from my palette when it's most concentrated. Then off camera I rinsed off my brush, patted it dry, and I'm just going back to blend that. So it's going to be a little bit darker up at the top where I first put that ink down, moving to lighter. And at this point I'm not paying any attention to all the details in the pine cone. That would be a lot. And I want this to be something fairly simple to do. Then I'm going to do that for all the pine cones and went ahead and dried them. Now I'm just picking up that same chocolate color from the palette, and in a few places here and there I'm going to add that darker color. So it's the same color but it looks darker because it has less water and it came right off of the palette, so it's more concentrated. And just by putting that in a few spots, not even paying that much attention to where they are or staying in the lines, now that pine cone starts to have some depth where it looks like some parts go in and some parts are sticking out. I hope that makes sense, but that's a really easy way to do that. Put an overall wash of color on it, darker towards the top, lighter towards the bottom, and then just go back and add a few darker sort of shadow areas that will make it look like parts of the pine cone are receding in. It's very quick and it's just that little extra touch that will make it look more real and more interesting. So I'm just showing you a few of the pine cones here because I think that can be overwhelming sometimes when we're painting to go, oh, how do I do this pine cone? It's very detailed. It doesn't have to be a long drawn out process for it to look really nice. So again, just putting in a little bit here in the areas sort of that would be going towards the back or towards the interior of the pine cone. So once those are finished, I'm just going to go ahead and outline the sort of branch here using that chocolate color. I'm using our brush set, so you have a variety of sizes of brushes, but they all have a really nice tip to them that makes it easy to do detail. And I'm just sort of extending that chocolate color, feathering it onto the pine branches a little bit. And I can go back and blend that with a little bit of water too. So we've done our first step from stamp to stunning. Let's do step number 2, which just is to add some background stenciling. Very simple to do. I've grabbed this stencil from our background basic stencil set. I've been using it throughout this video series. There's lots of different sizes and variety to these, all within one set. So this technique never gets boring and you can make it suit the image that you have. I'm just taping that onto my panel, and I'm going to use Memento Toffee Crunch ink and an ink blending tool and a foam pad. I'm starting off of the edge and working my way on in a circular motion, focusing mostly on the corners, and I'm not going over the top of my stamped image. I also am going to add a little gathered twigs over here on the right hand side to balance out the darker color of the stamped image that's on the left. And I'll blend that out with a little bit of that toffee crunch. Step 3, and this is the last step, is just to add some subtle tone-on-tone stamping or background stamping. I'm going to do this with the stencil on. So I'm just taking a piece of double-sided Scotch tape and I'm taping this to, and I know it's a very ugly, well-loved mat of my MISTI. I do not have a paper there because I want it right taped onto that mat. Because sometimes when you're stamping over that stencil, the whole thing wants to come up when the stamp goes onto that sort of plastic of the stencil. This is a way just to keep everything still. Now this stamp is from our Sunflowers stamp set. This is one of our Flower of the Month, but they have the best backgrounds for this subtle background stamping. And I'm just inking up at the top of that sort of vintage postcard look because I just want the top of that to be in my background. And I stamped it with the same ink that I stamped onto my, or that I inked on over the stencil, that Memento Toffee Crunch. So I'll remove the stencil. I'm not worried too much about the back of this panel because I'll be adding it to a card base. And look at that. That is the process. 1, 2, 3 from stamp to stunning. Then all you need to do is add your sentiment. With this stamp, you can make it suit whatever your needs are, whether it's Christmas card, thank you card, winter birthday, a masculine card. Just add that right on there. And that simple one layer from stamp to stunning card is complete. So we'll take a look at that here along with some other ideas. So here's the one we just made together. And again, everything used on this card will be listed for you down in the YouTube description box along with links to the Penny Black supplies. Here I've taken it to the next level. So I've stamped and painted it exactly the same, but I've used the cutout die to cut out that and then layer it within a frame. So taking that from that one layer to a framed image for that. And then this is just another stamp from that same stamp set. So I wanted to show you lots of different ways to use one stamp set and get the most out of it. So again, we did the simple 1, 2, 3 step process for a one layer card. Now you can take that same stamp and cut it out using the cutout die and add it to a frame. I added a little bit of embossing and some text stamping behind that, but it is just that same stamp colored in the same way. Now I love this stamp set so much. Here are more cards that were made with it. The first you saw here in that video, layering that up, just painting it in with the watercolors using our frame, our new frame die. And again, that blog post will show each of these cards with what was used on each one. Here is a nearly one layer card, just tearing a little bit of that corner. So instead of stenciling, you can just tear a little bit and layer that. And then this card is also one layer, just doing lots of different stamping in that one corner of all of those different sort of wintry branches. I hope you enjoyed today's video. My favorite card is actually the one layer card we made within the video, but I'd love to know what your favorite is. Leave us a comment down below and make sure you're subscribed to our channel. Happy stamping!